Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Um, Bear with me. This is the first time I'm speaking in this platform summit. I'm a little nervous. So, yeah, I will not go shift left or shift down, but I'll just talk very high level about APIs and events. Um, so, I will just talk about me first. Um, I am married, I have a child, and I work as a solution architect at Sandvik, and I'm a model in my company, going out also very soon. I'm a dancer, and I'm a wellness enthusiast. So if you remember yesterday's lunch, it was delicious, and yeah, there was some music. It was amazing to hear. So wellness is all about food and peace of mind, stress free. Nice words to say, right? Yes, if you see the secret sauce um, in the food, that is like APIs and events. That's what I wanted to highlight here. Yes, what is my agenda today? Let's deep dive. So I'll just very high level intro about APIs and events. You all know very much, but I'll go very high level. And EDA, event driven architecture, in little bit details, and the APIs and events, business use cases, and future of APIs and events. So very, very high level. Yeah, let's go. So to introduce, like as per IBM studies, they conduct some studies now and the 60% of the organizations are speeding up their investments in digitalization. So digital technology, and what it means to us as APIs and events. So we are rather than working towards a perfect end state, so they are focused on making their organizations more responsive. So we have to be more responsive than going to the end state. So what is it all about? So APIs and events. So what are APIs? APIs for when the user engages the app, and events for when the app engages the user. Hope you understood a little difference. So why that is very, very important? Like if you see, this is again a Gartner picture. So the need for speed, the time value of data. So data is, I mean, very, very crucial nowadays. So we have to act on it as soon as we receive the data. Now, like an event is essentially a significant occurrence that triggers processing within the system. Events can be classified into many events like business events, it can be system events, technical events, and so on. So this Gartner study demonstrated that value from data and events increases with the speed of their usage. If you can see, the time critical decisions is based on the real time. Oh, that's what I want to focus. So checking after this, as consumers, what we want, how we want our apps to react to us, respond to us, give us feedback. Like we want everything like super fast. Like example, I have take couple of examples. There are so many apps. So if you are in Sweden, have you ever got parking ticket? Yes, I got many times. So if you are in Sweden, you know this. We struggle a lot. So what the parking ticket or parking app would like us to, like, it should tell us like, oh, your parking is expiring, please upgrade it or extend the parking. Okay, that is one thing. It should tell us instead of we go into the app and change, or so we don't know, sometimes forget, we are a busy world. So it should tell us. So that is one of the event. And if you book a flight, it should tell us, okay, example, my friend has a very emergency last week he had to travel to India. And because of the emergency situation, he couldn't think. He asked his wife to book tickets. But his wife is really worried whether it's booked or not. So, what is our flight system or app should tell us? As soon as we booked, it should tell us, like, hey, your flight is booked. These are the details. This is the venue. This is the seat. This is where you have to go. So, all this information should come to us as soon as we book it. Okay, and yeah, that is what an event. Don't worry about that, but that is what we at Sandvik we we develop some tools in mining systems, and we manufacture steel and tools. Okay, that is one of the examples. So one of those machines or anything like an event is a change of state, or more broadly anything that can be noticed and recorded by an application or a device and shared with other applications and devices. So that is very high level of an event. So why use event driven architecture? Anybody? Yeah, I will dive into it. The value of knowing, there is a picture, high level text. The value of knowing about a given event and being able to react to it degrades over time. Okay, so the more quickly you can get information about events where they need to be, the more effectively your business can react to opportunities to delight as customers, shift production, and relocate resources, and many other. And EDI fuels a real-time enterprise, like provides continuous awareness, drives automation, enables adaptability. Okay, but there are, if you go to EDA, event-driven architecture, it is complex. People afraid to go nowadays. But how we overcome the challenges? So fortunately, the right tools on hand, the challenges discussed can be overcome. Like we can have an event portal, event catalog, schema registry governance area. And since yesterday, there are amazing sessions we have attended, and a couple of them, actually a lot of them mentioned about platforms. And if you can see, every organization is thinking in the direction of APIs and events. And today in the morning, Francisco from Gravity, I stole this picture from his presentation. So every organization or every cloud provider is looking to portals and events. And if you go, yeah, I will go to the next one also. Actually, Gravity has this one. I have asked one of the Elish, to provide me this architecture picture. So more than traditional API management, they are now building on event native API management. So this is Gravity's example. So they have building a lot of protocols, async API calls. Gravity, I mean, they can explain better. And if you come to IBM, it has API and event automation. They are investing huge on this event automation. If you ask them, they can talk about hours about. So I have explored while diving into event-driven integrations. So went into different created message brokers, created schema registries, try to do Kafka streams and microservices, trying to integrate with API gateway. So it is huge. But if you are alone, if you don't have this kind of organizations or tools, you have to be alone and you do it on your own. So initially we studied all these, but right now for our enterprise, we as a small IT team, Sandvik is huge, but there are already some of these tools are being used, I think. But as an IT team, central IT, we are right now started developing our own developer portals. An example, today morning, in Electrolux, somebody talks about, Who are they? Yes, I just want to mention them. Anika and gang from Electrolux, they were talking about they build their portals or their platform based on backstage Spotify event portal or developer portal. So we are also exactly growing in that path right now. So, but we have already existing. I mean, Solus is called PubSub Plus. So there are so many, and I just picked up Confluent has its own, and yeah, you can name it. So, and they are built on these patterns, event-driven architecture patterns, CQRS, microservices, serverless, fast, and streaming event sourcing. There are so many. And what are the business scenarios of event-driven architecture? Yeah, real-time data processing, Internet of Things, microservice architecture, and so on. So there are some successful case studies of EDA. The best, and if wherever you ask ChatGPT or Copilot, it gives this is the list. The number one is Netflix and Uber, Unilever, and so on. And they are very, very successful. And now I'm moving to business scenarios of API. So these are the different business scenarios. I will not go very deep into it. So again, next, successful case studies of API implementation. You have many. We have seen in these 2 days many examples. So what I will do, these are very high level outside, but I will right now explain you what we did, what I did as in a team in my organization. So we have an application A. There are different applications, A, B, C, are directly connecting and taking data. So that's how on application A, the load is huge. That is the very, increased load on application A. Developers as well as the system as integration demands grow. We can see only 3. There are hundreds of applications coming and hitting the application A and taking the data, because that is very critical data they need day on every day basis. So they came to us. Actually, they from the product owners, they thought about it. Okay, this is not happening, right? We want some help. Can you help us? Can we work together? So what did we do? So we went into transition to event-driven integration. What we did? So as a producer, that application A can be a provider. It can push the data to us. It can be integration platform. That's what we call. And the consumers comes to us. They can come to us and take the data. So the load on the provider is reduced. Okay, this is how the application A publishes data to the integration platform. Yeah, you can say platform if you are implementing some of those platforms which I mentioned. But if you are very small, you can simply have event hub or service bus, or if you are in Azure. Okay, and all systems interested in application data will get from integration platform. Thus, less load on the application A system to get data, and many advantages. Okay, and what are the key benefits they face? Decoupling of applications, development time reduction. There is not much development time needed at the application A, and operational efficiency, reduced operational load on the application A teams, and scalability. They can scale to any number of consumers. Okay, and flexibility, and we can, at the integration platform, we can give them what the application B needs, what the application C needs. We can filter and give the data. And return on investment, and I will come to that point. So this is decoupling. So I don't want to, you understand, this sends a message to integration, and we filter, we make it available to consumers. Okay, and development time reduction, the huge development time gone down. If you see 10 consumers, to onboard 10 consumers, before it used to take 200 hours. That's very approximately. We spoke to their developers also, they agreed. And with EDA, and API is involved when I'm talking about EDA, It's not only events, there is API involved. From when publisher or application A pushing the data, that is by calling an API. So their APIs are there, okay? And so this is the time reduction, operational efficiency, development effort from the application A gone down drastically. Okay, and scalability, you can scale it up to any number of consumers. That's what I was mentioning. And ROS, cost, this is a huge factor. So if you calculate resource cost, we just mentioned about that. And one consumer onboarding it approximately 8,000 and 10 consumers onboarding 80,000. That's in Swedish crowns. It's very high level. But cost to be with event-driven API and event-driven. So once you set up the middle layer or the integration platform, that is set, you can onboard any number of consumers. Okay, that is a scalable. That is the return on investment. They can, there is nothing compared to what is that. So event-driven patterns and APIs, there are where exactly they use right now in the industry. These are, again, I'm giving combination. Like I have discussed only event-driven business use cases and discussed only APIs. Now combination of event-driven patterns and APIs. These are the different use cases. E-commerce, financial services, healthcare services, and logistics, supply chain, telecommunications. So there are so many. And coming to the hot topic today, also Francisco mentioned about event-driven APIs. We all participated in the poll. Most of us are also clicked on, even I clicked on event-driven APIs. They are rising at right now. Here are some key points about event-driven APIs: real-time updates, and asynchronous communication, decoupling, and common patterns. All these we can go for event-driven APIs. How they look like? So these are our REST APIs, simple request and response. Our event-driven APIs subscribes to event notifications, and the consumer can get the notifications automatically. Okay, yeah, I am almost done. So the history of service and APIs. This is, I think I took it from Axway, if you are here. So you can see EJB's web services, microservice, low code, events and streaming, and now it is events and APIs. Okay. So summary. How do you consolidate an API first strategy with an event-driven architecture approach? Well, with event-driven APIs, managing both APIs consistently is a key to your success. So that's what we want to like. And while REST APIs are still widely used and will continue to be important for many applications, the rise of event-driven APIs reflects a broader trend towards more responsive and efficient systems. The future likely holds a hybrid approach where both REST and event-driven APIs coexist and complement each other. That's all I would like to cover today. Thank you so much for listening to me.